All right. And one, two, three. And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Signal Caller. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, along with Solo Lopez, the Solo Lopez on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that damn thing. I am POR is my Twitter handle, so check me out there. We also do stuff on every Sunday. You check out Twitter Spaces. We will. I'll be on with Nonsense. Don't let the name fool you. He knows a lot. He knows a lot about football. So we'll talk about wide receivers coming up this week. Last week we did it's on the channel right now. If you want to check it out, it's a great conversation about the running backs. People are really excited about this running back class, and rightfully so. So we have that. Next week we'll have right now Ryan is traveling, so we'll get him back get back on next week to see his thoughts about the Raiders and everything going on there. Student Body Right USC podcast just dropped a video for Jalen Smith, who's going to be a slot one of the top slot corners in this draft. A guy who I think will be, if he's not drafted late, he will. If he's not drafted later rounds, I believe he'll be undrafted free agent and be a highly sought after one as well.
Mm.
So we have all that for you. Some news and notes around the league right now before we hit our 2.0 on our mock draft. This time we're going to alternate picks. I'll have the pleasure of picking for the Raiders because nobody else can do that, right? Over the years. But some news and notes from the NFL real quick. Calais Campbell. I want Calais Campbell right now. I think he's gonna sign with the Dolphins, and it's gonna be year 17. Calais, make it 20. Just play one of the great
Do it.
one of the great players in
Yeah.
the league. I have no problem with Calais Campbell playing for as long as he wants to. And the tush push vote has been pushed back, if you will, because I think
More than a yard.
yes, and I think my thought process on that is this: they didn't have enough votes to kill it,
Yeah.
so they're going to talk to the teams who voted for it to keep it to say, hey, what can we do to make you to they want to grease the wheel so they can kill it because they don't
Yeah.
want it. The fact that it's up for a vote says all you need to know
Yeah.
about it. The league wants to kill that. So it's silly, it's stupid. There's no reason for it. You sit in a lab and you come up with a good play, and then you should be able to use it on short yardage. It's not
Yeah.
like and like you're doing it on second and 15. Um, as far as that goes. So how you been, Solo?
Good. Just working through the most of our draft stuff, getting ready. I mean, it's April now, so we are ready. So it's just right around the corner. The best time of the year is draft for me. I love the draft. I love everything about it. Every year gives you hope, but there's a less and less glimmer for our own personal team, but more and more hope for the league because it's going to get an infusion of really, really good prospects.
Shout out to Founders Edit. Founders Edit does a lot of good stuff, lot of really nice graphic design stuff for USC. And he totally got me this morning because I did not know I forgot it was April 1st. It said Danton Lynn, the defensive coordinator for USC, who's kind of transformed that defense with to Notre Dame. So I was like scrambling through my phone for a second. I was like, "Oh yes, April 1st." So
Yeah.
he got me good on that one. The draft is here, so we're gonna go right to the. I got a simulator all queued up. We are going to do 3 rounds. So we got 3 rounds going. We'll do every team. Last week, or last time we did it, so I think I had the first pick. So
Yeah.
this time Solo's going to do it. So we'll see. We'll start it right now and let's see. Go ahead. We're gonna hit resume draft. Come on, baby. Okay. And then shoot. So what happened here? Did I do this? Let me just do the. I think let me see. Did I do this right? Let me start this over then. Hold on. I think I did it wrong because it already picked somebody for us. So that's not what we want.
Yeah, you want to
Um,
make sure you click select all
yeah, I think I picked
on
it.
I'm using Pro Football Sports Network, 3 rounds, select all, so we can pick each pick.
So let's pick off. Okay, there we go. I think that was stuff I forgot to do. I forgot to do select all.
Hmm.
So let's
Who'd they
go.
take?
Oh, Cam Ward. Surprise, surprise. Cam
Yeah.
Ward. Cam Ward. Cam Ward. Cam Ward. All right. And then now let's go here. Recording both spaces. All right. Technical difficulties, but we're here. Now we're off and running. All right. So first pick of the 2000. 2025 NFL draft. Somebody did ask me, could I just put the little chime thing that ESPN has in there?
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
I did a test run with that, and it got flagged. Anything
Are you
music,
serious?
dude. Anything music.
Holy moly.
Anything music. Now
It's
on the
the how
on the
does it go? It's the dun 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 dun
yeah
dun dun
yeah
dun
yeah
something like
yeah
that.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm telling you guys right now, on YouTube, you like somebody joked around because I think somebody was live streaming like some gruesome crime one day, and that and it took YouTube forever to take it down. But then if you put
Yeah.
any kind of music on something, forget about it. Forget
Yeah.
about it.
Any kind of
Any music,
licensing or anything like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
forget
that's
about it.
quick.
So
Well, I'm
ten,
starting this
go ahead.
time. We're alternating now. We're alternating picks, but I'm going to start this time. Dwayne started last time, so we're going to alternate picks and do different teams this time. So, of course, no surprise here. We're both in agreement. I think it's consensus at this point. We're this late in the draft process. I think everybody knows that Tennessee is going to go with Cam Ward. So that's the pick.
So Tennessee takes Cam Ward here, and we have the Cleveland Browns who are on the clock, so they can go a lot of different places.
Yeah.
I'm kind of quarterback is in need, wide receivers in need, offensive tackle, running back, and defensive tackle. I'm gonna roll with Abdul Carter.
Okay.
Abdul
So
Carter.
you're still going with the defensive end.
Still going with defensive end Abdul
Yeah.
Carter.
Interesting. Okay. We need to talk a little bit about the Haslam interview, the owner for the Browns, who came out and said basically that was a big swing and a miss for us. It sounds like Deshaun Watson is probably never going to play for Cleveland Browns again.
I
So that
wonder.
might alter what they do this April. So it'll be interesting to see what
I
happens
wonder.
in
I
the
wonder
draft.
why. I wonder what happened. I wonder why. Okay.
Yeah, right. All right. So for me, I think this is pretty easy. If Shadir's on the board, for the Giants at 3, that's the case. So I don't think it's any big surprise that that's going
even
to be.
even though they signed 3 quarterbacks in this
Even
offseason.
though they signed the 3 quarterbacks and have one in reserve, and they signed Wilson, I think that was their insurance policy in case Cleveland actually took Shadir Sanders.
Mhm.
But they're all both on 1 year deals essentially. Winston is on like a 2 year deal, but he's being paid backup money. Russell Wilson has the incentive money. I don't think it's any surprise that it's just a 1 year deal for them. They're not committing to either one of these guys. You sign those quarterbacks in case you don't get the starter in the draft, and now they have the allotment if Shadir Sanders is there to pick him at 3 because he won't be there at in their next pick.
The new Patriots here now with Vrabel and company here. So I kind of want to stay with, in my mind, I think they'll do trenches after this point.
Mm,
So I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter being the number one player on so many people's boards. I'm gonna go Travis
yeah.
Hunter in New England to play cornerback, and then play. That's a pretty good. Hopefully, they hope Hunter and Gonzalez are one of the best cornerback tandems in National Football League.
Okay. Nice. Well, it's no surprise to me right here. A lot of people have Mason Graham and Will Campbell going here, but Liam Cohen is the new head coach there. They want offense. They want players. They have Brian Thomas Jr. there. You want to pair him with another wide receiver. You take the best one off the board. It's Ted McMillan at 5.
That's McMillan at 5. Where's Ted at? Okay, Ted it and forget it. All right. So the Raiders are on the clock here now. So there's no Ted on the board, and no quarterback that they're gonna take. I think they will. I think the Raiders will go trenches. I heard an interview today with he's talking about who his son wants Genty and everything like that. I saw that little conversation there. I'll tell you, I mean, if Genty's LT, it's gonna look bad for Mr. Spytek, but I'm gonna go Will Campbell. Will Campbell from LSU, uh, offensive tackle. We're probably will turn the guard, but that's fine for right now.
Yeah. Man, God, that's just the one pick I don't want. Man, I don't want him at all.
Remember,
That
so
would
so
be
so,
tough.
so folks, these are what we think teams will do. We will both
Yeah.
we will both do a mock draft where it'll be what we feel like
Yeah.
our feelings on what should be done, so we can kind of hold ourselves accountable about that one. But here's the
Yeah.
Jets at 7 here.
So the Jets they signed Justin Fields. They're trying to solidify the position. They still have a lot of talent, offense and defense, but they did lose DJ Reed. They should be really happy to get the best corner in this draft that fits their system, that fits their style, their physicality. And I'm going to go Will Johnson here at 7. I think he fits nicely across from Sauce Gardner. Now you have two of the biggest, most physical, most imposing corners in tandem in the entire NFL. And they match up. I think Aaron Glenn likes defensive backs. He was a defensive back. So I think that's where we're going.
So we're gonna go look at the Panthers here. Let's see here. I think the Panthers are going to, let's see here. What will the Panthers do here? So they picked up Trayvon Moreg in the offseason. So that should be solidify them a little bit there. So okay, go safety. So I'm looking at, let's see here. Who would be the guy who here we'll go with here? Here. It's a tough one knowing this team.
It's tough.
Tough. I think you know what. They have an offensive play caller. They don't have great weapons around their quarterback, so let's go wide receiver. And Ted McMillan is not there. It's early for Golden, but I think they could use that speed. So I'm gonna go Golden here. There's always a surprise in the top 10, so I think
no doubt.
I go next. So.
I think the Saints are ecstatic to get a player like Mason Graham here. He feels like that type of pick. He feels like a Mickey Loomis pick. They like interior defensive linemen there. Mickey Loomis has had a rash of defensive linemen that haven't worked out for him. Marcus Davenport that he traded a few picks for. I remember Sheldon Rankins, I believe they took in the middle of there. But Mason Graham tracks out as the best interior defensive lineman in a loaded defensive lineman draft, and so that's where we're going to go at 9.
9 there. The Bears. The
Bears.
So the Bears is almost like the name of the Nas album it was written. They don't have to even move up to get Genty. He's just sitting there right for him.
He's just sitting there right there.
So it just makes all the sense in the world to put Ashton Genty on the Bears, and this will complete this draft will 100% complete the
build around Caleb Williams.
Build around Caleb Williams and what looks like a really good offseason for the Bears. So let's go with Ashton Genty to the Bears.
What a pick. What a pick at 10.
I'm sitting there.
So the Niners kind of need a lot. There's a lot going on with the Niners right now. You could go cornerback, you could go linebacker, you could go edge. But I think this is the perfect spot for Jalen Walker. And I feel like this is the move for them. I think he's a tweener. I think that you can you can pass rush with this guy. He can drop back. He can cover the run. He's kind of an everything type of player for them. He's kind of a blank slate as well, where you can mold him into whatever position you feel like can take advantage of his strengths. He's going to be protected and insulated by a really good front four in this, including Nick Bosa, who's a former defensive player of the year. So I'm going to go Jalen Walker here.
Jalen Walker. So the Cowboys are my uncle Mark. It's his favorite team. My grandfather's favorite team, Dallas Cowboys. Growing up. So
shout out.
So shout out to both of them. And what can they do here with their needs? Just they got running back as a need. Might be a little bit high for running back for them here if they want to. They're probably hoping for Genty there.
They did sign 2, by the way.
They signed 2, but they probably need.
But for very little deals.
Exactly. So let's go here. We are looking at need 2. We got 4. And I'm going to go defense. I'm going to go corner, and I'm going to go Jaheed Barrett from Texas.
Jahdae Barron?
Jahdae Barron from Texas.
Nice. You've seen him move up the boards a lot.
I've seen him everywhere above Will Johnson. So it's interesting.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
I say a lot, but he's just
So
bumping
I think it's
passes though.
pretty easy here with the Dolphins. They need a guard, they need a tackle, they need safety, linebacker. There's a few ways to go here. But I think Membu is a good pick here. I think it's a really safe pick for them. I think they still need to protect Tua as best as they can. Bring in an infusion of young, talented offensive linemen here. If Membu was off, I would have considered Kelvin Banks here, but I think it's a safe, good spot for the Dolphins to take Membu here.
All right, so we have the Colts on the board now. Tight end is a is a need for them. No matter who plays quarterback for them, they're gonna need that. They're gonna need that. He wears 44 in college. He basically the same colors of the Colts.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren probably just needs to be a Colt then. So we'll put Tyler Warren here on the Colts at number 14.
So this is an easy move for me right here. I think that offense. Get your young quarterback some weapons. Get your young quarterback some protection. Even though they have a lot there, you could always use more, baby. So I'm going Mika, who I think is the second best receiver in this draft. I think he's one of the most complete receivers that we've seen. I think he does everything well. He has a high floor, and I think he's going to produce well there. And I think Amika Buka is going to be awesome from Michael Penix, Drake London on the other side, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier. You have a bunch of players that are going to help them. Obviously, Bijan Robinson. So I'm going to go with Mika here at 15.
I'm gonna just keep some of these a little bit shorter because we have to go to 3 rounds.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Derek Harmon. They need a defensive tackle. They need a defensive line help. Period. So they need edge and defensive line. So I'm gonna go with Derek Harmon out of Oregon to go to the Cardinals.
Nice.
The Bengals.
Bengals is easy for me here. I think Malachi Starks is the player here. I think he's increased his draft stock tremendously. They need defensive talent right here. I think they go safety.
And then you got Seattle here. Seattle
Yeah,
offensive line, and then after that, more offensive line. So let's see
yeah.
here who's available. I think Kelvin Banks will fit the bill, so we're gonna roll with
Yeah.
Kelvin Banks here. Can play offensive line for them, off tackle for them. So we got the Bucks on the clock.
So I know that there's they need a safety, they need secondary help. I think Emin Worry has really helped his draft stock, and the people they just got a rocket strap to him. So I think he fits well next to Antoine Winfield in that area right there, and just improving the secondary. So I'm going to go Emin Worry, South Carolina.
Let's see here. Matt Worry. There we go. Was in the wrong section, so I got him. The Broncos. I remember, last year we talked about the Broncos, and everybody said, "Oh, hey, don't draft Bo Nix. He won't be anything." Then he just has more touchdown passes than any guy out there, right? So,
Shout out Vic Taper.
shut out, shut out. So here is let's see here. Am I gonna go? Let's go Raider Nightmare here. I'm gonna go complete Raider Nightmare here and have a guy who we both love. And he's gonna go to the Broncos. Marion Hampton at number 20
Yeah.
to the Broncos.
This is an easy one for me here. I think this is where
Brutal.
Jackson Dart falls. I think it's Pittsburgh on this pick here.
Let's
If he's there at 21, huh?
even if they get Rodgers.
Especially if they get Rodgers, I think they're done playing the quarterback situation game. So I'm going to go Jackson Dart here, 100%. I'm anticipating them getting Rodgers, so I think Jackson Dart.
Okay.
They got to stop messing around with quarterback.
Yeah. They kind of need one. Makes sense. Let's go to. Okay, come on, baby. Come on, click over. Okay, click over. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go to. We got Chargers on Chargers on the block here. Let's go to Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss.
Ooh,
They do need defensive tackle help, so a defensive line a total. So I think he will fit the bill and go
yeah.
right in for that system they got over there. Packers.
So I think this is where the Shamar Stewart slide stops here. I think he's a great talent for them. Going to help their defensive line. Obviously, he's going to be an electric playmaker for them. I think they need it, and this is where he goes. Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. This is going to be a little bit higher than people will say, but they have such a glaring need at safety. I'm going to go Xavier Watts,
Ooh,
Notre Dame, for the Vikings here.
nice. The heir apparent
Air,
to Harrison Smith there.
Air apparent, air apparent.
Heir apparent. This is pretty easy right here. I think they need guard, tackle, center. They need everything offensive line. They're gonna go with the best one available here at tackle, and I'm gonna go Josh Simmons.
Josh Simmons, Ohio State.
Hmm.
You are a Texan. The Rams are on the clock. Linebacker, corner, edge are among the needs here. So let's keep that going. They have a really good young defensive line. Um, and it's tempting because Mikael Williams is right there.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be a tough one to hear. I think they will. If that's the case, I think they're. I think they're just going to roll. They're going to just roll with that one. Either they could do with that. I think they're going to roll. I'm going to roll with Mikael Williams here for the Rams. Just keep that defensive line rotation going.
Yeah. Nice. Um, I think this guy fits perfectly here. They probably ecstatic to get him here. They need guard. He's the top one available here. They love their Alabama prospect line that they go through here. So I'm going to go Tyler Booker on to the Ravens. Just keep that run game healthy and physical.
We're going boom, go boom. Ooh. The Lions, edge, offensive guard, and then cornerback. So that is their needs there. Let's see with the edge part of it. Let's see what's available at the edge. Let's see the edge. So I'm gonna have them go ahead with the Tennessee edge, James Pierce Jr.
Nice. That's a good
Tennessee.
one.
Just in
Workout warrior.
just in case they get an injury there. They got little youth there. Go ahead. With the Commanders, AFC, NFC Championship game. Commanders here.
This one, they probably did not think that Luther Burden was going to be available here. That would be an insane situation there. You got a young quarterback, you insulate him with wide receivers and talent, with safety blankets and skill position players. I think Burden would be an absolute steal here at 29. And you add him to that offense, I think it's going to be an ecstatic time.
Okay, so you got him. And the Bills. The Bills are on, so we're looking for cornerback here. I don't know if I have one that's upworthy in the first round. This could be a spot where they even think about maybe trading back. They could use linebackers. So I'm gonna go linebacker. I'm gonna go with Jaheed Campbell from
Nice.
Alabama.
Um, Chiefs just traded their guard. I think they need interior offensive line help. I see Great Zabel here, who people love. This feels like a Chiefs
Damn,
pick for
damn.
Great Zabel. That's going to be the one.
Yeah, probably the most versatile offensive lineman in this draft. So yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
he's
one for
nice.
them. They need edge or offensive guard here, cornerback as well. And they have defensive tackle. But I'm not sure why they have defensive tackle here for them, but for the Eagles. But they can go any direction when you win the whole thing. I think they've won the whole thing on the defensive line. I think they kind of continue that. They can continue that. Let me see one thing about tackle first. Okay, could do tackle. It's tempting, but I'm gonna go the other. I'm gonna go the other direction. Let's see here. So edge. I think this guy is one of the best defensive players in this draft.
Wow.
I cannot say his last. I forget his last. Donovan. I can't say his last name. You might have it.
Ezuraku.
As a Rocco, I knew you would. That's why I have you here. But he did a great job last year at Boston College, and he was one of the most efficient edge rushers out there in college football last year.
It's a
So
nice pick.
I'm going to go for him. The strength on strength for the Eagles. You're never going to have too many pass rushers.
Yeah, good pick.
We are in round 2 now.
Round two, the Brownies. So they took Abdul Carter in the first with your pick. So I think they still need they still need a lot. Let's be fair. I would not consider a quarterback in this situation. I would probably not consider an offensive tackle in this position either. So we're going to look at some of the wide receivers that we have here. I really like Trey Harris. I think there's a chance that Trey Harris might be a first rounder. So I'm going to go Trey Harris here for the Browns.
All right, so the Giants took their quarterback in their first round, and they want to protect him. So let's go with this is a guy who I know Solo really likes a lot and thinks he's one of the best offensive linemen in the draft. That's Josh Connolly Jr.
Yes, sir.
from
Great
Oregon.
pick.
All right,
Awesome pick,
and then
man.
we
Love it.
have
Love Connerly.
so the
I can
Titans.
definitely
Yeah,
go ahead.
I can see that pick too.
Yeah.
That could line up as a perfect draft pick. That might those two picks alone might save Dable
It could.
and Joe Shine, whatever
Yeah.
his name is.
Um,
Titans.
Titans. This one's pretty easy. They got their franchise quarterback. They need a safety blanket. They have a few different needs there, and I know they like Chiggy over there, or Conquo, their tight end, but Colson Loveland falling all the way to here in the top of the second round, I think is an awesome pick for them. He's young, he's physical, he's gifted, athletic, he's got good hands, comes from a good system. I think this is an easy move for them when he falls to them.
All right, and we have the. Oh man, I want the Raiders pick. I want the Raiders pick. Let's go to Jaguars. The Jaguars here, defensive tackle, tight end is one of their things here. So let's go. He is. I think is he the son of Jason Taylor for the Dolphins? I think.
I
Mason.
honestly don't know.
But I think that they are related. I'm not positive on whether they're what the relation is. So I'll find it out later. But Mason Taylor, tight end from LSU.
Wow, that feels early, no?
Mason Taylor, tight end LSU.
Back to back tight ends. Okay, so the Raiders solidified their offensive line a little bit with the addition of Will Campbell in there, but I think this one's easy for me. You go running back here. You take one of the best ones off the board. I think it's the Ohio State kid over Caleb Johnson, just because of the familiarity with Chip Kelly. So I'm going Trevion Henderson here.
All right, Sherrod Henderson and the Patriots are on the board here. They could use. So the Patriots are trying to. Let's see here. So they picked up the corner. I'm gonna go with Jalen Knoll from Iowa State. They need some weapons here. So let's
Nice.
see if they get that here. And then the Bears.
Oh, you mean Stephon Diggs is not their long-term answer at wide receiver?
He's not. He's not.
He's not.
He might not be their 1 year answer at wide receiver.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
So this is the Bears picked. They did a lot to solidify their offensive line in this process. Looks like they could still use a few pieces there or on their defensive line. I don't think this guy should have fallen this far. I think he's a perfect fit for them. I'm gonna go Mike Green, the workout warrior, at that front seven, that pass rush. You get the Marshall kid in there who builds his way up into the second round. And that's a new pass rushing weapon for Dem Allen over there at the Bears.
He seems like a bear.
He does seem like a bear.
He seems like a bear, and that's weird to say that, but I think he seems like a bear. So I have the Saints, and earlier on they did the defense. They got Mason Graham. Let's see here. They got Mason Graham. Let's see here. It's too early for him. Let's go offensive guard. Let's go guard here because they need some guard help. Gonna go Donovan Jackson, guard from Ohio State.
Donovan Jackson.
Donovan Jackson.
Nice.
The Bears are on the clock.
All right. I'm sorry. One sec. This froze on me.
Take it.
So they took Donovan Jackson to the Saints. Okay. So the Bears with their second rounder of this draft, they took Mike Green just 2 picks ago. They still need some help, I would say, in the front seven and probably in the secondary, even though they have really good corners in there. So I think that I would go, well, not me, but I personally think that you can always improve the secondary in this situation when you have a player like this. I think Trey Amos is a fantastic player. I think he's a borderline fringe first rounder. They have a good secondary there, but they want to make it an elite strength and add to Dennis Allen's secondary. and add to his defensive capabilities for that team.
All
Might be a
right.
little over in fluctuation of corners there, but I really like that. You build an elite strength there.
Cool. Let's see here if I can find Justin Fields a wide receiver. Um, let's see here. A guy who we like. I think I'm gonna go. I know it's early. But before you know it, there's gonna be none. So I'm gonna go Jalen Royals for the Jets.
Nice. I love Jalen Royals.
The Niners are on the clock.
McCaffrey is getting older. They have Isaac Guerrero there. They traded Jordan Mason, so it's going to be Guerrero and McCaffrey for the most part. Both of those
Jesus.
guys are young, but I think that you want to take an absolute stud here from Iowa. They solidify that room for Kyle Shanahan in that offensive run game. In case they don't feel McCaffrey's a long-term answer, which he probably isn't. Guerendo's so young that you don't really know what you have in him, but you absolutely get a stud here in the second round. Borderline first round pick. I think there's a chance he might go in the first round. That's a great pick for San Francisco there.
Jalen Johnson. That's gonna be fun times. Great. That's all we need. In life, that's all we need. It's nice to get better. There. So I'm gonna go Siobhan Ravel from
East Carolina.
East Carolina.
Mm.
They need a cornerback there in Dallas, so I'll go with him. And then the Colts are on the clock, and the Colts and then Falcons.
This is easy for me right here. This guy probably is considered a top, 30 pick, top 35 pick. Fell all the way to the Colts in 45. They don't necessarily need a ton of edge help, but this is a guy you just take BPA here in that situation. Nick Scorton from Texas A&M. Probably shouldn't be here in this point right here, but he is, and because he is, the Colts are going to take him there at 45.
All right, so Dolphins here. Okay, back. Jesus Christ. All right, draft specialist here. Thank God. So we got let's see, we got the Dolphins here, and then they got some needs as far as that goes. See what we got. It's too early. They did lose. They lost their safety to the Giants, but it's a little early for that. But I think they might need to jump on that regardless. So I'm gonna go with Andrew um
Makuba.
Makuba
Yeah,
from the Texas Longhorns there.
nice.
All right.
Bengals need defense everywhere, basically. They went Malachi Starks, which I think is a fantastic pick at 17. Now they upgrade their defensive line here. I think they go Princely Unamalian, one of my favorite players in the entire
You're
draft.
waiting. You're waiting for that one.
Yep, I was waiting.
It's waiting for that one. All right. Let's see here. Offensive. Who did who do we have the Seahawks taking in the first round?
They took Kelvin Banks Jr. in the first round at the
Nice.
18th spot,
All right.
and they have
So
multiple second rounders this year.
multiple second rounders this year. So let's go. Let's go Isaiah Bond from
Yeah.
from Texas, and then we'll come back and do something else real quick. Go ahead, and you got the Broncos here.
So I think the Seattle Seahawks just made a mistake. I think that they picked the wrong wide receiver here. I think Jaden Higgins would have been better for them in that situation. So I think that Denver is ecstatic to get Higgins here. They need to build around that awesome rookie quarterback that they drafted. What was his name?
Oh, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. That's the one.
That's fine.
So they go with Jaden Higgins here.
Higgins. Let's go Seattle here. I'm gonna go. They got a tackle. Let's go with a guard here. I cannot say his name. Joe. His name is first name is Jonah. Offensive guard.
Oh, that's Savai Naya.
Sorry, Slovenia. So he is going to be from Arizona to Seattle here.
Nice. I like it.
And then we got the Buccaneers and Packers.
Buccaneers took Wari in their first round, but they still need defense. I think they lost a few players there. I think they take the safest. I don't say the best, but I think the safest corner left on the board, which I think is Benjamin Morrison. Fringe first round talent, first to second round talent. I think they add more to the secondary they need. Corner is one of their big deals, so I'm going to go Ben Morrison here.
Let's go. Let's see. They can use some cornerback help. They can use some wide receiver help. Um, let's see here. I don't think they can. Wide receiver here. Let's go to this team. I do like. I just saw the one I liked here. Let's go with Tyleek Williams,
Oh,
defensive tackle or Ohio State. We got him, and now we got the Chargers on the clock. Chargers and Bills
Chargers on the
next.
clock. This is an easy choice for me right here. I think that Caleb Johnson is off the board here. They signed Najee Harris to 1 year deal, but that's not going to be enough. They're going to take Quishon Junkins here, who's the other star running back from Ohio State. They're going to get the workhorse spell back and the thunder basically in that power run game there that they have. Harbaugh gets a star to move there.
I think Betch just looks like a Bill, so I'm gonna go. It's early
Mm,
for him, but I think that they have to go out there and they have to make sure they get their weapons. I think he fits what they want to do. I think it's early.
nice.
And then that gives them a good young core of wide receivers there, especially when Matt Collins left as well too. So they want to make sure they have that. Got the
Uh,
Panthers and Texans.
Yeah, this is an easy one. Maxwell Harrison is there. I think he's got a big upside. Great player. Little undersized for the position, but I think he's a great player. Makes up for it with his unique skill set. I think that'd be a nice pick here for Carolina.
What's the name again?
Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky, the
Maxwell
cornerback,
Harris, Maxwell Harris from Kentucky.
could be a mega upside player for them.
Got a good 40 time, right? In the combine.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Uh,
Texans took Josh Simmons in the first round tackle.
Not gonna go wide out receiver. Let's go to the defensive tackles. So let's go here. They're gonna go. I got them going. T.J. Sanders, defensive tackle, South Carolina.
Okay. All
Raven.
right. Ravens can't go long without taking defense. Got to get some players in there. They took Booker in the first round here, solidifying the trenches, but we're going to go right back to the other side of the football in the trenches, and we're going to go JT Tuimalau, edge from Ohio State. Just feels like a Raven, doesn't he?
The name. You down with JTT? All right, let's go here. The Lions here on the board. Let's roll here. They got Edge. They got Edge. Who did the Lions go with the first round?
The Lions took James Pierce Jr. They took an edge in the
Like an
first round
Edge
here.
the first round. So if they need, they got a quarterback who can move, who can't move. Great. So let's go with Wyatt Millum from West Virginia,
Yeah.
offensive guard here.
Washington took Luther Burden there just because it was there and they needed him. They don't have a third round pick, so they're going to have to add to the defensive side of the ball. Landon Jackson slips all the way to the back end of the second round here. They're going to snatch him up. Feels like another player that they just waited for on the board and decided to take with a good pick there. I think Landon Jackson might go earlier in that. And if he's there, they'd be ecstatic to get him.
Landon Jackson fills them out there. And then we got the Bills on the clock again. Let's go. Let's go edge. Brandon Swimson
Oh, LSU.
from
Yeah.
LSU.
Okay.
Chiefs, Eagles.
Chiefs still feel like they need offensive linemen in this. It doesn't necessarily is a super need for them, but they're going to need some interior line from the trenches as well. But I think they have a play. Tate Ratledge really fills what they do. So that would have been the pick had we not gotten Zay Bell here in the first round. I still think they need offensive line, but on this part particular. Darius Alexander is a guy that really feels like a chief in that position. So I'm going to go with them in defensive tackle, Toledo.
I like that player. I like that
Me too.
player. I like him a lot. So that definitely be a perfect chief player there. So we got 6. We're halfway. We're almost done with this last pick of the second round, almost to the third round here. Let's see here. The Eagles fly, Eagles fly. What we got here? So I'm gonna go with a corner. Do they really need a corner? Well, they lost. Technically they lost 2 corners.
They lost Slay, yeah,
Yeah,
didn't they?
they lost. Yeah. So um, Arize Thomas from Florida State.
Oh, okay,
So I'm gonna go there with the
nice.
Eagles. All right. So we got the New York Knicks, New York Giants, the
The New
Giants on the
York Football Giants.
clock
Well,
here.
they have some good defensive players here. I think this guy is actually really good and a high upside player. Kyle Kennard from South Carolina is a guy that I really like. I think that'd be a smart move to add into a really powerful and really good front four that they have there. So working on the defensive side of the ball now.
All right. So the Chiefs here. Let's see what we got. The Chiefs picks were earlier. To other picks were who?
The Chiefs took Graze Bell and then Darius Alexander, the defensive tackle. So they got a guard and a defensive tackle.
So I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna see. They're not gonna get exactly what they need. So I'm gonna go. I'm tempted to go offensive line. So I'm gonna, I think they're gonna try to still. I think they're gonna look at their team and say, let's fix the offensive line, and then we can do what we want to do offensively. So
Mm,
I'm gonna go Emory Jones, offensive tackle, LSU.
nice. Okay. So the Browns did not take a quarterback in the second round, did
Don't
not
do
take
it.
one in the first round.
Don't do
So
it.
this is where Milrow goes.
Don't do it.
67 Cleveland
God
Browns,
damn
third
it.
rounder,
God,
low risk,
jeez.
high upside, developmental player. By the time the Browns get off the Deshaun Watson contract, right, just ahead of the Raiders.
That is exactly what I want. What the Raider pick was going to be. That
Yeah,
is brutal. That would be Raider like to have that happen though. That would be exactly what that would happen.
yeah.
I should have took him in the second round. Um,
Should took one in the first.
yeah, we won't go there. That never happens. All right, so the Raiders have a running back already, and they have a offensive lineman.
Yeah,
So running back already, offensive lineman. Let's see what we got here on the secondary. I am gonna roll with Denzel Burke,
love
cornerback,
it,
Ohio State.
love it. It's a great move. Patriots on the clock here. They kind of need everything. They spent a lot of money on their defensive side of the ball. Still going to need more offensive, more weapons, more areas here, but they have a really good explosive running back here in Boswell Tootin. I think Giddens is on the board, but I think that's a little high for Giddens, in my opinion. I think Tootin's intangibles feel a little bit better. I know people love Giddens, but I'm going to go with Tootin here. He's eventually going to find his way to the starting position for them outside of Ramondre Stevenson, and I don't know if they still have Anthony Gibson or not.
Cool. So we got the Jaguars on there as well. Who the Jaguars picks real quick?
They took some skill position players, Ted McMillan first, then Mason Taylor in the second, building around Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. So man, if I ever gonna be a GM, I gotta have you in my room because you just rule. You just know everything off the top of your head. I'm gonna go Alfred Collins here, defensive tackle, Texas.
Oh, nice. That's a good one. That's a good one for them.
That's a good one. That's a good draft for
Derek
the.
Carr is not the answer, obviously, for the Saints. They passed on a guy earlier. I think they get a guy who fits everything they do here.
What we got?
This is going to be Quinn Ewers from Texas.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. All right. The Bears. The Bears had they got Genty. Who else did they get?
They took Genty, and then they had 2 second rounders. They took Mike Green from Marshall and Trey Amos from Ole Miss, a corner. So they got an edge, a corner, and then Ashton Genty, a running back.
I gotta say, man, if Bear fans don't like this draft for them, I'm sorry. I don't know. I
For
don't know.
real.
I
Yeah,
don't know what to
man.
tell you, dude. You walked away
They
with
would
a
smoke this draft with those
yes,
players.
seriously.
Goodness.
Um,
Goodness.
Arianti Arisi from
Or Sari,
Asari from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I'll
Yeah.
grab that. Get some offensive line help. That's a really good draft for those first four picks for them.
Yeah, that's an outstanding draft. I think that this is where Tate Ratledge's slide drops here. Top of the third or mid around the top 10 in the third round. I think he'd probably go a little bit earlier in this draft, but I like Ratledge a lot to the Jets. Whoever's going to be quarterbacking for them for years to come is going to get a good guard there from Georgia.
Okay, so we have the Panthers on the clock here. I know they got the Panthers got what they got what the Panthers got,
Panthers have Matthew Golden at the 8th spot, and then they took Maxwell Harrison, the corner from Kentucky, at 57.
and I'm gonna go out here. So everybody is trying to boost this player up in the draft, right? Everybody's talking about this guy being, the best wide receiver in the draft or second best wide receiver in the draft. So I'm gonna take him here for the Panthers. I'm gonna go Kyle Williams on Washington State.
Interesting. It'll be really interesting to see where he goes. People love this kid.
So yeah, let's see where
Um,
he goes.
I'm going to do a little bit of a shock here. I'm going to play on this as if the Niners have not signed Brock Purdy yet, and they're still working on that extension. And although I expect them to, I'm still going to go Will Howard here in the third
You're
round.
gonna go weird, huh? You're gonna go weird on this, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Will Howard. Okay. So until that's signed, that could change, but until he's signed, you're gonna go with that one. That makes sense. All right, let's go to here. Edge. What we got here for Edge here? Um, let's go. The Cowboys did what in the first couple of picks?
Cowboys took Jade Barron from Texas, the corner, and then they went back-to-back corners, Siobhan Ravel in the second round as well.
So two corners for them. Let's go with Edge. Go Josiah Stewart from from Michigan.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, good pick.
I
Um,
thought
Go ahead.
Patriots. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Patriots took Travis Hunter, they got Jalen Noel, and they have Basil Tootin. So they're definitely building around that core over there. I was gonna think about another skill position player, but they need offensive line. Marcus Mbow here from Purdue just fits really nicely. Probably should have went 15, 20 picks higher here. This is a good move for them.
And we got the Cardinals.
Back-to-back defensive tackles. Derek Harmon in the first, Kenneth Grant in the second.
Oh, so they did? Okay. All right, so they need linebacker. I'm gonna roll with CP3 Junior or
Yeah,
CP Junior.
nice.
So Chris Paul Junior here, linebacker from Ole Miss.
Nice. All right, back to the Texans here. They took Josh Simmons and TJ Sanders and back-to-back picks, or first and second round pick, I mean. They're still going to need offensive linemen here, but I think that with the Dalton Schultz getting older, you need more skill position players. I think Fannin Jr. here is an awesome pick for that offense. You put him with CJ Stroud, and you put him with that offense that lost Diggs this year. Tank Dell's not coming back this year or maybe ever. Nico Collins is obviously a star wide receiver, so I'm going to go Fannin here, and I think that's going to be explosive for them.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So I know we had the tight end out of Penn State who the Colts picked who else in the second round.
Yeah, they took Tyler Warren, and then Scorton fell to them at 45. Nick Scorton, the edge from Texas A&M.
All right, so let's see what we got at linebackers. I'm gonna go with Barrett Carter, linebacker,
Clemson. Nice.
Yeah. And then
All right. So Bengals had Malachi Starks and then went Princely at second. I think first and second round picks would be unbelievable for them if that was the case. They just signed T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Still need a little bit of offensive power there, even though they've gotten a lot, but they're still going to be working on the defensive side of the ball. So I think they go exclusively defense here and go Darian Porter from Iowa State, the cornerback. I like him a lot. It's a good pick in the third round for them.
All right, cool. So we got the Seahawks. The Seahawks did in the first couple rounds did what were their first picks? Who were their picks?
They took Kelvin Banks with their first rounder. They took Isaiah Bond in their second round wide receiver and took Jonas Abanaya, the guard from Arizona at 52.
So we filled a couple of spots there.
And they have another pick in this round as well.
So I'm not picking around here. So they can
Yeah.
get some, they got some pieces here.
They got ammunition. They got 5 picks in the top 90. That's great.
That's really good. Ashton.
Thank you to the Raiders, I guess.
Yeah, Ashton Giletto from Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. Yeah.
From Louisville, the edge there. So I'm glad to give him
I'm
another
not
edge.
sure, but it might be Jalot.
Jalot. You
Yeah,
know,
it might be. I'm not sure. That's just the way it's spelled. That's what it looks like.
You would know better than me because I'm good. I'm terrible at some of these names.
So the Steelers traded for DK. Obviously, didn't have a second rounder. I think they traded a second and a third, but this is their first pick since they took Jackson Dart. They're still going to need offensive line. We already took the quarterback in that regard. They're still going to need defensive line in that regard. But I really like Shamar Turner here for the defensive tackle for them. I think you can mold him into a great player. I think he's big, he's physical, he's kind of versatile in that ride that they like. Right under that 300-pound range, you can put him on anywhere on that and make him an effective player. So I'm going to go Shamar Turner here.
I think that might. It makes me think that if Dart's there, they're gonna pick him because they don't pick forever.
They don't pick again for a while. Yeah,
I've been for a while, for a long time.
They will certainly not get Jackson Dart later unless they try to make some kind of trade.
Seriously. So the Bucks, we're looking at for the Bucks here.
The Bucks took Nick Manwari and Benjamin Morrison, so they're beefing up the secondary.
Secondary is good. So edge. We can do edge. We can do linebacker. All right, it's too early for that. So let's go with. I'm gonna go with Jordan Birch from
Oregon.
Oregon. And then we got the Broncos here.
Omari and Hampton in the first round, then turned around and got Jaden Higgins in the second. It's a great play for them. They need to strengthen those positions. Now they're going to work a little bit on the other side of the ball. I think they have, or they're going to need, obviously, some linebackers in this position. There's one that I really, really like in Danny Stutzman. He feels like a Sean Payton pick from Oklahoma. He's going to be a guy that can be a leader on their team. I'm going to take Stutzman from Oklahoma.
All right, so
over Bassa, who I considered here.
Yes. So the Chargers, what we got for the Chargers?
They took Walter Nolan, defensive tackle in the first round, and then turned around and took Quishon Judkins in the second. If that happens, I'll be very upset.
Yes, I will be. I make everybody upset. Let's see here. What we got? Does he go? Does he go? Does he go? Does he go? Restrepo and and the other receiver they have now will be hilarious together.
Restrepo and McConkey.
That'll be hilarious. They picked a running back already, so we have that already covered. Let's see here. They could use some help in the defensive backfield. Let's go Dorian Strong from Virginia Tech.
Nice. Good pick.
All right.
All right.
Packers and Jaguars up next.
Packers are one of the few teams that always takes like those interior guards, no matter where, if they have them, even if they have them lined up. I like Jared Wilson here. I know it's probably not a pick that they'll have, but it feels like a Packers pick that they just add the interior offensive line with a guy who can be versatile in that. So he's 6'3", he's 210. He's got a good score, he's got a good ranking. I think he's a good player. He's a high upside player in the NFL, so I'm going to go him. He only had 1 year at center, but I think that you can move him inside or outside.
And the Jaguars, let's see here.
Jaguars went Alfred Collins last, the defensive tackle from Texas, but they got Czech McMillan and Mason Taylor in the first and second round.
Thank you for that. Let's go here. Let's go Zy Alexander,
That's a
cornerback,
great pick. Yeah,
cornerback from LSU.
yeah, I like that pick a lot.
And then we got
That's
the
nice.
Texans and Rams.
All right, Texans took Josh Simmons, then went turned around and took T.J. Sanders in the second. They drew on Harold Fannin Jr. This is their second third rounder. They still need offensive line help, so I think this is a good pick for Trapio from Boston College, the offensive tackle, Ozzie Trapio here.
Right there. And the Rams are on the board now. The Rams got in the first couple of
Mikael
picks.
Williams was their only pick so far,
Okay.
but he fell to them at 26.
Hmm.
It'll be a wild card. Les Snead and Sean McVay think outside of the box.
Hmm. So let's give him a DJ. DJ Givens to the Rams here.
Ooh,
The Rams
Giddens,
here. Give it Giddens. Sorry,
nice
Giddens. All right.
from Kansas State.
Kansas State, yep. Sorry.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah, Kansas State, yep.
All right,
What do we
good
got?
pick.
I'm looking to the side here because I got a monitor over here. So
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
for folks who are watching, like, hey, well, why is looking to the right all the time? Yeah,
Yeah.
got a monitor.
Baltimore with the trenches in their first two picks. Tyler Booker from Alabama, then JT Tuimalau from Ohio State. They're going to go with the best available wide receiver here in this point. I still think they need help in this part, but I think this is where Restrepo goes in the back half of the third round. I think that obviously his 40 time hurt him, but I think he's a good player, good safety blanket for someone like that. They're going to go take a chance on wide receiver in the back half of the third round.
Ooh, and then what we got for the Seahawks again picking
Their
here,
fifth pick.
the fifth pick.
This is the pick I believe they acquired from the Raiders, the 92nd pick. They took Kelvin Banks, then Isaiah Bond, so two Texas boys, offensive tackle and wide receiver. Then they took Jonah Savanawaya from Arizona, and then Ashton Gillott, the edge from Louisville. So they've gone on the trenches heavily here.
Right. Let's go here. Do they have a? I already have a center then, so I'm not gonna go center. Which is a tough one as you get a little deeper in here. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know if they even need that. Did you ready? It's a tough one.
This is a tough one.
All right. I'm gonna go with Kobe Bryant here. Kobe Bryant.
Oh, corner. Nice.
Corner.
Okay. All right. We're winding down here. We're winding down. Saints took
Yes.
Mason Graham, then turned around and took Donovan Jackson, and then took Quinn Ewers in the third round. So they're going to Chris Olave is a little bit of a wild card in this situation. We're not too sure what's going to happen here. So I'm going to go with, oh, this is a tough one. So I'm going to go with Eric Yomenor from Stanford. Big showing in college. Obviously, he had that game against the Colorado Buffs that really put him on the map. But he had a pretty good showing. Since then, 6'1", 206. He's really a reliable guy. Feels like a guy that Derek Carr will be able to find on third down a lot.
I'll tell you, I mean, you get Harmon, if they get Harmon and Grant with with the defensive end they have already, man. And you know, get Chris Paul here too as well. So that would kind of do a good job for the Browns here. Let's see, they could use a running back. Let's give him a running back here. And let's give him Cameron Scatterbo.
Oh, that's where he goes, huh?
From Arizona State.
Crazy.
You are a Cleveland Brown. Let's roll with that one. There you go.
Intense, man. Intense. Well, that was going to be a favorite of the Chiefs there. They're not going to get him here, but I'm going to go a little bit of a wild card here. I don't think this guy will. A lot of people will think that he goes this high, but he was electric at the combine. I thought he raised his stock here. I think he's going to be a good player and a good pick here. You add him to an offense that is desperate need of playmakers. I'm going to go Jaden Blue here from Texas.
Dude, blue.
I think they're over the Pacheco situation where he can't stay healthy. He's not necessarily been effective since his rookie year.
Well,
So Jaden Blue.
all right, Jaden blue. And the Eagles here are on the clock. Let me just take a peek on what the Eagles did real quick. There we go. Boom. The Eagles got a pass rusher, got a corner.
Yeah.
Their needs, they could use an edge. Got an edge, got a corner. Let's go see what the guard situation is looking like. They got a veteran. They got a veteran. They're ready. So let's go with Dylan Fairchild from Georgia
Mm.
for guard here. Give him some more trench work here.
So Minnesota are picking the first time since they took Xavier Watson the first round. So they kind of need a lot here. So they did address the safety position in that situation that did need, but I'd still argue they need offensive linemen. So I'm going to go Cameron Williams from Texas here.
Texas. All right. And now we have, excuse me, the Dolphins are on the clock. They did the Dolphins got Mbembo and
Makuba.
Makuba. Let's see here. And they need an offensive tackle. So why not go with a Johnny Cornelius from Oregon here? To give
Oh,
him
okay.
give him that help there. We got
All
the
right. This one's pretty easy for me.
Giants.
Giants took Kennard with their last pick, but they need to get some weapons for Shadir here. I think Gunnar Helm fits really nicely here. I also think Terrence Ferguson fits really nicely here. I think it's going to be a coin flip between them. But if it's the coin flip between them, I think Ferguson's going to win here, and I'm going to go with Ferguson to the Giants.
Okay. All right. So more of a do everything tight end, opposed to just a pass catcher.
Yeah.
Ferguson to the Giants. All right. And then now I have the Niners are on the clock. I love picking for the Niners. Yeah, I love it. My favorite team in the NFL.
Boy, look at their draft so far. Jalen Walker, Caleb Johnson, Will Howard. Yeesh.
Okay. And then look at their needs. They could use a defensive tackle. So let's see what we got over here for defensive tackle. Who's left? And then right now, I don't know about Deion Walker. I just don't know if he can play at this level. His pad level is just too high. Let's go with Omar
Norman Lott.
Lott. No relation.
Another lot for the Niners. Woo!
I know. Can he wear 42 on the defensive line? Let's go.
This is pretty easy for me right here. I think that LA needs someone to be the heir apparent. I think they can mold Kyle McCord over the next couple of years while Stafford is on his way out. I think he's a perfect type of quarterback for Sean McVay. So I'm going to go Kyle McCord here with the hopes that he might be the guy that takes over. Lions, baby.
Lions. So they got Harmon, they got Grant, they got
No. The Lions have James Pierce and Wyatt
hold on.
Millen.
That's what I thought. Hold on. Okay, so I got Wyatt, they got Pierce, they got Wyatt Mullen. They don't have a lot of picks in this draft, huh?
No, they don't.
I don't. So let's see here. They can look at edge. Oh, sure. Let's see what we got at corner. Not loving the corner situation here. Let's see what they got. Safer. So safety. Let's go with I hate to keep dropping Kevin Winston Jr., but I'm gonna go with Lathan Ransom from Ohio State.
Mm.
And I think that
Yeah,
should
Kevin Winston, that feels like if he falls in that situation, my goodness.
yeah. So I am going to download this bad boy. Let's see here. Cool. Let's go to 1, 2, 3, 5. And let's go to stop. Okay. Cool. And let me see if I can get this on the board. This should give me the whole draft. We could probably post this to Twit and see what they say. Oh, they're also not going to give me the whole thing. Only gave me 3 picks of those picks. Oh, full results. Yes, that's my full results. Okay. Let's go download. There we go. Cool, folks. Cool. All right. The 3 rounds. Little, I mean, that was little. I mean, you gotta just. I think I know how to work it now, so I can see my picks now. So I'm not asking you every time now. So when we
Yeah.
do the bigger one, I can definitely do that. But so definitely go over it, folks, and let us know what you think in the comments. It's just kind of always fun. It's always fun to kind of see where all these players um draft. I think one thing I definitely for me in this draft too is like it's tough because I was waiting for that third round pick for the Raiders um to pick
A
Milrow,
quarterback.
and I'm like, and the pick right before, that's how it goes. So when you want a guy, especially if he's a quarterback, you might, in the second round, the rate. I mean, just learning here too. I mean, I maybe have to sacrifice Trayvon Henderson and
Yeah.
go with another running back.
Interesting to note too. No quarterback taken in the second round in this draft, in this mock draft.
Interesting.
They all went first, then they went third, which feels appropriate with this
If,
draft.
if it feels about right, if it feels about right. All right, so good stuff there. Cool. All right, folks. See you next time. Peace.